Hi everyone, my name is Danny. Welcome to another video here on Danny's Corner, and I am talking about American exceptionalism. In the last video, I left off with if this country were truly for Americans and if we were trying to serve Americans first, we would help ourselves first. Interestingly enough, when it comes to American exceptionalism, or when it comes to American, certain groups are left off the table. For example, people with disabilities. I was mentioning in the previous video how, as an American, I do not have a way to tell money apart. Yes, if you see the video where I mention how to tell coins apart and or how to know what bills we are carrying, there's a machine that I use, but the problem still persists, as there are several things I didn't mention, and I would like to take some time to mention them here as I'm addressing this whole thing of American exceptionalism. So the first thing is, as you saw in the other video, I had a hard time when it came to knowing what denomination I had, what bill I was carrying, because you're supposed to put a bill a certain way into the machine so it can read it to you. And if you're not careful, it will even give you false information. It said that the bill that I was carrying was $100, and then it turns out that it was $5. So here's where the doubt comes in, right? Okay, with that said, I also want to mention segregation because I have done it in the previous two videos. How are we helping blind people? And I'm only mentioning one group because if I start getting into other groups, this series will never end. They have been discriminated against as you have no idea. Or perhaps you do if you're from one of those minority groups that I'm talking about. But I'm only talking about blind people just to focus on this hypocritical society that we live in that supposedly is supposed to be for America first. As I said before, there is no way for us to know what money we're carrying without carrying some sort of device or without somebody telling us. This is segregation because why are the rest of the people able to see the money that they have, but we have to use a device? It doesn't make any sense to me. Why do we as Americans need to stay out of the conversation? Because truly, when we bring these things up to anyone who's an American, they might say, if you don't like it, you can go to another country. So in other words, we're supposed to take whatever America has to offer, whatever crumbs they have to offer us, and we're supposed to be grateful for that. We're supposed to bow down to that and say, okay, thank you, Master, thank you, Lord. Is this what American exceptionalism is all about? I'm an American, and I'm getting treated just by this issue alone, not mentioning the 1,000 other issues that we have to deal with. I'm being treated as a second-class citizen. And people want me to believe that this country should be for Americans first. Give me a break. This country has not been for America first, perhaps in forever. It has only been for a select few, but not for all Americans. So let's get that straight. And I told you that I was going to be blunt and truthful when it came to these videos. America as a whole is not serving us the right way. And this should stop. Because the only thing that this is provoking us, this thing of American exceptionalism, is hatred, is anger, apathy. It's not wanting to do anything. When we can recognize that we were never exceptional to begin with, that we are only competing with ourselves, is when we will free ourselves from this lie. We don't have to compete with other nations. We don't need to compete with other nations. Let's do the best job that we can do for all Americans. Does not matter the race, disability, gender, religious, or any other demographic. But we're not doing that. We're competing with other nations, and this is what is bringing our country down. Other countries are doing much better on serving the underprivileged than we are, being the country that has the most resources and or money to spend. We're supposed to be very careful because, as I said, the only thing that we are doing is dividing. And no administration has dealt with this issue. No, it has not. I will leave this video here. Thank you for joining me on another part of this. And I can talk about this. Unfortunately, I don't have plenty of time. We can discuss this hours and hours and hours. And even then, I think people will not get to the bottom of this. People will not understand because they have hardened their hearts. They're blind. So please remember to comment, to share, to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.